You're now watching Sports Bettor's Paradise on the BetRivers Network.
All right, Jimmy Ott talking college baseball with you. And, man, you talk about some interesting games, to say the least. My goodness, the first four games, the first three were all walk-offs. The last one, it came down to the ninth inning as well. And the right fielder for Texas A&M, if you stayed up late enough and you watched it, he did take away a home run. That ball was out of the park at Charles Schwab Field, an oppo shot. Interestingly enough, the 6'5" right fielder, so he's got enough length. It wasn't a miraculous catch, but man, it was pivotal to say the least. Florida, keep in mind, if you went to bed at a normal time, A&M had a 3-0 lead, and the bases loaded with one out in the third inning, and that's it. So they blew an opportunity to build a much bigger cushion. And then Florida, before they scored their runs, they had 2 on, nobody out twice. It didn't score anything. And then they got 2, and then they just missed a 2-run shot in the top of the ninth inning against Texas A&M. All of the first 6 games, 5 of the 6 have gone under. The slugfest with Florida State and Tennessee. We said here last week that we thought that the winner of that game would win it all. Tennessee is now minus money. So we got on them before the Super Regional round. We thought it was kind of a walkover. It proved to be a little bit tougher than that against Evansville, but still, that their number is going down considerably from that plus $3 that we took in the Super Regional. Florida State still got life, though, and that's why I would stay away. I would not come in on Tennessee now. Florida State's got a shot to come back out of that loser's bracket. We at the time of this recording, the line is not out yet on Florida State, North Carolina, but we think it's going to be close to even, and that's my favorite pick as we go in reverse order on this thing. I like Florida State. I mean, let's face it, but hey, they got hosed on a call. It could have been called a strike. It should have been called a swing, and that was the last strike of the game. That was the 27th out, and they would be moving on and playing in the winners bracket game. But they did enough early in that game to prevent themselves from even building a bigger cushion than they actually had. They had a big lead, but man, they had about 4 plays, the base run and play, errors, left and right, that probably cost them 4 runs in those early innings. But once they settle down, they're playing much better baseball. Let's get to the early one today, and Florida, North Carolina State, and NC State, again, had that close one. We gave out the parlay, the Chapel Hill, Raleigh, crosstown parlay, 3 outs away. Thing about this, though, we always talk about a lot of my sports gambling buddies that I respect. Half are kind of guys that hedge and half don't. I'm a guy that tries to. I'm worried about profitability. There was tons of chances because these late leads in these games, the money lines, the end game is it's big. It's considerable. So you can, for maybe, something like 20% of your bet, cover your original bet. And so I hope that a lot of you may have done that in these games, because that really that makes these tough beats a little bit easier to swallow. So, look, when you're playing dogs like that, that's what you want. You want these 50-50 games. There were more than 50-50 games with these big odds. So hopefully you did that. In NC State, we had that, with that parlay coming in at a nice price. Hopefully you hedged a pretty good bit on that. Florida, again, they're playing better right now. Caglione he got jobbed. He should be for the second year in a row a finalist for the Golden Spikes. He is the first player in the history of college baseball, had back-to-back 30 home run years. So, but they can pitch around him, as they did in late in that game against against Texas A&M. Schlossnagle knows what he's doing. He's not going to let one guy beat him. But I think that NC State at plus money here, I think NC State's a little bit better than Florida. So we like the plus price at plus 110 right now at BetRivers. As far as the total is concerned, why not? Put a little bit on the under. The win today at TD downtown Omaha at Charles Schwab is blowing in from right for about 20 miles an hour. It's been blowing in the whole tournament. So keep on with that. And get on those early as well, because those totals are coming down considerably over the course of the day. So under and NC State, dog and under in the first game today in Omaha. Second game is Texas A&M and Kentucky, battle of SEC teams. And what you have here is, look, Kentucky was ecstatic. It's their first game ever. They win it in walk-off fashion. There's no doubt. But, you got to like what Mangione's done in Lexington, their first trip. But Schlossnagle got a little bit more of the battle scars here in Omaha, and his team's expected, even without one of their top pitchers and their top hitters. And, this is part of the draw that was favorable for them. So minus 150, I like A&M to take care of business. They also are without that lineup, and Schlossnagle said it. Willow, we're going to have to try and manufacture some things, especially with these conditions in this park. So you seeing him bunting guys over and staying out of the double play and in the sacrifice and so look for a low scoring game under on that one as well. A&M minus 150 against Kentucky. So going A&M, going NC State, both of the totals under. So Florida State in the late win again is my favorite bet of these Monday, Tuesday sets of games. So Florida State, and I still look, I like them to make a little run at Tennessee. So they definitely can play. Love how our 20-1 is still alive. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take some guys pitching at a higher level than what they have for most of the season. And guess what? They got one of those yesterday as they pitched down and got about 6 innings of really good, productive pitching out of Florida State. So they already have one of those under their belt in this run out of the loser's bracket after losing that first game. So we'll look for Florida State to win tomorrow against North Carolina. Should be an even or maybe even a little plus price in that one, and then even give Tennessee some problems on Wednesday. For BetRivers, I am Jimmy Ott talking college baseball.